What's going on, guys? It's Hashbrown556 here, back in the video, and today I'll be ranking the optics in Rainbow Six Siege. But before we get started, I have two things I'd like to say. Number one, summer just started for me like a week or two ago, and I'm definitely willing to make videos, but like I kind of ran out of ideas, like I'm gonna be honest. So if you guys have any video ideas for me, make sure to drop them down in the comments. I always read all the comments. I mean, usually there's only like 2 or 3 because I'm a pretty small channel, but you know. Yeah, drop any suggestions you have in the comments. Yeah, let's hop into the video. Alright, so hopping into the list now. Just before we start, I forgot to say, I did not rank the 3x scope. It's only on like a few operators, and I also forgot about it. So yeah, that's why. But yeah, hopping into the list, first we got 3 low tier scopes. These scopes are terrible, and like they are barely viable for ranked. And they're just like, they're there for like messing around, in my opinion. Of course, this is all opinion, but yeah, so at number 14 and dead last, we have Hollow C. I absolutely hate this scope. Some people are okay with it. I hate it so much. And for some of the lower tiers, I'm gonna keep it pretty quick, but like Hollow C, it's just like weird to use. Like, I don't know. There's not much else to say about it. It's just like a really weird scope. All right, and at number 13, we have Hollow D. This one's kind of weird also. It's more like a Russian scope. It kind of looks like the holographic on glass. That actually might be what it is. I'm not a fan. I mean, on glass it's a little bit better, but like on like a normal assault rifle gun that's like automatic, it's just like not a good scope. I hate it. It's interchangeable. It's pretty close to number 14, but yeah, still a really bad scope and near the bottom of my list. At number 12, we have a pretty controversial pick actually. We have Red Dot A. I just don't like red dots in general. That's going to be a theme that you'll see throughout this video. I just hate Red Dot. I like Red Dot C a lot more. You'll see that in a minute. That's one of the mid-tier scopes, I believe. But like, it's just not a good scope, dude. I mean, it's like really similar to Red Dot C. It's just like a little bit different. And I noticed a lot of people using Red Dot C. Like when the update came out, I can't remember when it was. I think it was pretty recently where they made all the scopes universal to every gun. I mean, not obviously like all of them, but like, you know what I mean? Like all the 1X scopes can be on a certain gun. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, I just hate red dots. That's all I gotta say. And I've always hated red dot. I've definitely preferred the regular reflex and holographics. All right, now we're moving into the territory of the mid-tier scopes. Like these are the ones that you could get away with using in ranked. They're still not the best options. I think the high tier scopes like the top 5. I think that I always use in ranked, depending on how I'm feeling and like what gun it is. And by the way, like whatever scope works for you, use it, obviously, because the object of the game is to get as many kills as possible, basically. But at number 11, we have Red Dot C, just a slight variant of Red Dot A. I think it's a little bit more viable, at least for me, and that's why I put it in the mid tier instead of the low tier. But yeah, still a Red Dot scope, so I kind of still hate it. All right, at number 10, we have Reflex B. This one's actually decent. Like, now we're starting to get into the ones that are like actually pretty good for me. I mean, Reflex B is all right. It can work on some guns. It's just like kind of funky. It's kind of like the one I put in last. It's kind of like Hollow C. Like I don't really like the like 3-line thing where it's like a dash and then a dot and then a dash. It's just like kind of weird for me, and I'm not a really big fan. I mean, it's all right. I could probably get away with using it, just not one of my favorites. All right, at number 9, a pretty controversial pick. We have the Russian Acog. The only gun that I would really use this on is that one LMG. It's the Russian LMG that I think Fuse and Finka have. Maybe one other operator, but like that's the only gun that I'd really use this scope on. But I like the fix, or not the fix. I like the change where they made it so that you can use either the normal Acog or the Acog B, which is the Russian one. I like that change. And usually I would use the normal Acog, but this one's still pretty decent. And at number 8, we have Red Dot B. I mean, I actually kind of like the scope. I use it on Capcan's gun. That's a really good gun, by the way. I just hate using Capcan because he's like toxic. I just hate Capcan. I think they should delete him from the game. Just kidding. But yeah, I really like the Red Dot B scope, and yeah, I use it on the 9x19 VSN, I think it's called. I have like a sick Capcan like outfit, but like again, I hate using Capcan, so that's like the worst operator for me to have a good uniform for. But yeah, Red Dot B, pretty good scope. At number 7, we have Hollow B. I think this is a really underrated scope. I used to use it a lot on the FMG9 with Smoke and Nook. I actually used to use Nook a lot. Like if you look at my R6 tracker stats, I have like 17 or 18 hours on Nook, or like around there, like between like 12 and 18 hours, which is actually a kind of a lot for Nook because not a lot of people use her. I think she's a really underrated operator, by the way. Definitely use Nook if you can, especially if the other team is spamming cameras. Nook's a good counter to that. But yeah, I really like the scope for the FMG9, and I could probably get away with using it on some other guns, or like the 5.52 Commando. I usually use the 1.5 on that though. A lot of people do because that's the highest zoom there is. But yeah, Hollow B, really good scope and very underrated. And topping off the mid-tier scopes, at number 6 we have Reflex C. I mainly use this on Kali's, whatever it's called. It's like the SP SMG9 or something like that. I mean, I probably jumbled up the letters, but like it's something close to that. But yeah, just like Kali secondary, the machine pistol thing, whatever it is. I really like the scope on that. That's really the only thing I really use it on. But I could definitely get away with it using it on different guns. It's basically just like an alternate version of the Reflex A, but I definitely prefer Reflex A over it. But yeah, still a really good scope. Now getting into the high tier scopes, at number 5 we have the 1.5 times scope. I was debating whether to put this over the 2 times or not. By the way, 2 times is next at number 4. But yeah, it's just like a really good overall scope. A lot of operators have it because they don't have that 2x or Acog scope, so it's a really good option for like pretty much any gun. And as I said, at number 4 we have the 2 times scope. I mainly use it for the MP5 on Rook. By the way, he's getting a buff if you didn't see that. I'm pretty sure he's getting a pretty nice buff in the next update. Sorry, I'm getting off topic here, but yeah, 2 times scope, pretty good scope. I'd say it's pretty underrated because a lot of people, or a lot of operators that have the 2 times scope also have the Acog, so a lot of people pick the Acog over it. I don't know, but yeah, I think the 2 times scope is a pretty underrated and very solid scope, especially for ranked and if you're using Rook. And at number 3 we have Reflex A. I would say I'm more of a holographic guy myself. Yeah, I just like using holographic on more guns, but Reflex is still pretty good. I can still get away with using it. Sometimes I use it on the R4C. I actually do use it on the R4C. I don't really use that gun a lot though, because it got nerfed. And the recoil is kind of insane, especially for console. But yeah, I used to use holo on that, but now I use Reflex. I switched over. You could probably guess that the top 3 scopes are the 3 original ones. I really like those. I've really gotten used to them over the years, obviously, because for a while those were like the only 3 scopes in the game, I'm pretty sure. Or like, no, sorry, there's also red dot. But as I said, I hate red dot, so yeah. At number 3 we have Reflex A. At number 2, I already talked about it a little bit. We got holographic A, or holo A, whatever you want to say. As I said, I'm more of a holographic guy. I don't know. I don't really like the triangle in the middle. I just like more of the circle with the, whatever you call it, like with the 2 lines through it. I don't know. It's just more of a preference thing for me. But yeah, holographic, very good scope. Definitely my favorite 1-time scope. And I use it on pretty much everybody that only has the 1 times. And you probably guessed it, at number 1 we have the 2.5 times Acog. Yeah, as soon as you clicked on the video, you probably assumed that that'd be number 1. I don't know, but shout out if you're sticking around for the end of the video. I appreciate it. But yeah, Acog, really good scope, obviously. Basically the almighty scope of Siege. It has the most zoom, or like it's tied for it. With the normal scopes, as I said, with the 3 times, I guess it has more zoom, but like that's only on a few ops and a few guns, like Dokubi's DMR, the MK14 something. But yeah, Acog of course reigns supreme. I don't think it's gonna change like at all. I think Acog will always reign supreme in Siege. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and sub. We're almost at 60 subs, dude. Let's go. And make sure, as I said at the beginning of the video, if you have any suggestions for me or like videos you want me to make, drop them in the comments. I read all of them. And yeah. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all later. Peace.